around here, and that is on that level. I see the Clutch as a real competitor, but it's not like it doesn't feel like that no-brainer to me.
Round begins.
If you know what I mean.
3, 2.
I'm starting with maxter.
Fight.
Okay.
There's a map behind, so he has to do business. Base gets a nice spawn.
Oh.
That's a big robot.
Oh, Maxter actually tried to go for an aggressive play, and I found that, given that the shield is up, rather aggressive, but now the rails are actually peppering down the stack, and even that light is not covering up for it. Oh, look at the damage!
They've hit me with something.
Fortunately, Base was able to pick up a rail himself, otherwise we would have seen someone with blood in his eyes, and this time it's just hydraulic oil spilled all over a green armor.
But 7 health on maxter. Like, I think if Base just peeked through the how do you call it? The portal, he would have gotten the frag. He doesn't get it in the end, and also the mag health. And looking at the armor Base is working with, there is a lot of armor deleted by him before he gets this heavy. Yeah, maxter is just also retreating at T-Con because that light is not appearing. He does find one at the LG. Oh, the trap! Maxter!
I mean, just imagine the audacity to think that you can hide with Clutch. And it actually worked even, that's amazing. You know, whenever you hear the LG hitting like that, you always start to get worried a bit, but I mean, in this case it didn't really matter because the stack of Base was just too big.
Stopwatch.
Yeah, maxter is too weak to do anything at this mega health. Although Base is not that healthy either. He does have the shield, and again laying out the trap. Maxter not falling for it this time.
Killing spree.
Well, yeah, the great aggressive move from Base.
I think the biggest issue is that Base always gets armor. Base has more lights, more heavies, by far more heavies, but I think the lights are the one that are problematic for Maxter right now. I see Maxter is actually getting decent damage and nice push there. Because the lights mean that Maxter is not having any armor at all.
Yeah, this is important, like getting this heavy. The shield gets popped and no real connects. Like, yeah, Maxter is also missing ammo for the LG.
Yeah, that was the problem and the push. If he had LG, I mean, he would have just burned through the shield probably. And now it's...
Stopwatch.
Yeah, something has turned. Maybe it's a table, maybe it's the tides. I'm not sure exactly right now. And again, it's just the missing lightning gun ammo that is resulting in Base getting a frag and Maxter losing out on it.
Yeah, and that rail. Like, that stops the plus forwardness of Maxter. He does get the mega health, but he has to fight against the shield wall. Yeah, he also did not have any decent weapon to do the damage with. Yeah, and he's also
5-minute warning.
not hitting enough with his rail to make it really hard for base.
It's such a big problem that base is able to match Max's rail somewhat, and Maxis should be the one who's like winning the hit scan battle, but I think it's contributing that base's positioning is super great and he always goes on the item.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's Maxi with nothing left again. And probably we see a 2-0 here.
Looks like Songsage's inspired base for using the starting nail gun.
Yeah, as far as I know, it has the same self knockback than the super nail gun. So every jump you can do with the pickup weapon is doable with the starting weapon, and that means that bounce pad to rail from heavy or other jumps are doable with clutch. And that means that you gain a lot of mobility, and as a heavy, you can spare a nail jump here and there.
So does the starting nail gun also do less self damage then? It must be, right?
Probably, yes. So it's kind of, for jumping, I think it does, I'm not sure. But if it would do, it would be, for jumping at least, the better nail gun then. Ouch. Imagine dodging a bull just to run into his horns again. Kinda. That was that what direct looked like. Look at. I mean, yeah, at this point in time, it's. I will not say unlikely, but I say the time is running out. And I mean, what do? You need a clean frag while you have good stack, and then you need to get another clean frag, because every unclean frag means you have less stack than the spawning opponent. And yeah, it's not like you can't outdamage a clutch, right? The guy's easy to hit.
Well, this was a decent frag, but like it took 30 seconds. And he needs 7 more. With 90 seconds left.
When you can pull 10 Gs under fire and still make a shot, then you'll be on my level.
Nah, it's not going fast enough.
Stopwatch. 1 minute. Master. Denied.
So 4 frags in a minute.
Tank.
Is the maxter gets out of this. Oh fuck, predictions are still open. This game is rigged.
I think this could result in a betting scandal.
Where is my mouse? Yeah, I don't see my mouse. Fuck, can you stop it?
Yeah, wait. and now imagine the comeback happens.
Yeah.
Base clicks suicide as fast as he can. Respawn, I mean, of course. Yeah, so we are already in reverse sweep territory. It felt like it was a little bit too little too late from maxter.
I don't have a mouse anymore.
Maybe it's empty. Plug it in.
Ah, there it is.
Where has it been hiding?
Yeah. There it is. Okay. Base one. I don't know. I think the game stole my mouse for a bit.
Oh, so you've got the opposite than the cursor in game, kind of.
Oh yeah. Like we have a fix for it. We just remove your mouse completely from your system.
Yes. You can click where you feel you click, and it will work, maybe. Okay, so base needs another minute.
Okay.
Rob, what do you think about the Vale matchup? Ranger kill? Ranger for base.
Yeah. I think it's a decent champion for both actually. Yeah, if maxter just keeps his grenades to himself, and if the orb is getting used close to Keel, base has a second that he can't shoot after he travels through the other dimension, and he gets 3 pineapples in his face, and which also pushes him back. So, so the ranger is mitigated.
I mean, yeah, technically, just the if you compare the abilities, one guy's incredibly mobile, the other guy kind of decreases the damage. The Keel looks kind of great. And I think that the orb is, from a repositional standpoint, a bit harder to use on Vale than on other maps. But I think that the Ranger generally is such good of a package as a champion that I'd probably give him a slight edge in terms of a straight comparison between the two. Hard to say though, because yeah, if stuff is not hitting, then even the orb is not saving you at all.
No, we'll see. I do hope we get the maxter win, because then we have more Quake for us. Base.
More.
Tournament point.
Suck.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think
Prepare to fight.
base hasn't lost with Keel yet. Max hasn't lost with Keel yet.
3, 2, 1. Fight.
And when he gets the heavy spawn, picks up a little bit of weaponry beforehand, base is also not too content to find a fight straight off. Safety measure for maxter to shoot that grenade doesn't really matter, and it's all filled up again. Yeah, and I think all that Max is trying to avoid now, oh, he gave information away, is getting in a situation like this, where the LG is king and Max has nothing to answer back. And yeah, base is just living the dream right now, having that blue weapon. Yeah, and it's all LG. I mean, 300 damage almost from that weapon. just because maxter didn't have it, and this is what peak distance manipulation in a duel looks like. And again,
You disgraced yourself enough.
oh, probably a necessary rocket jump. Max had it lined up, base is 2 frags up.
Yeah, not the best start for Maxer. Base rotating the items. Ooh, but this time around, 3 real hits. Are we getting a 4th? But yeah, base is already out of available territory. They still need a railgun. But does he lose out on the heavy because of going for that button? No, the orb gets him the heavy cleanly. And he's just content with his positioning and the lead.
Stopwatch.
Like, I wouldn't say he's already in plus backward mode, but he's certainly not in plus forward mode anymore.
I think base is just not wanting to give maxter a chance to win the fights. And look, just as the time approached and he saw maxter or heard maxter going backwards, he took a position, he fought for the item. And he gained himself a frag. It was close, it was tightly calculated, and probably one weird pineapple knockback could have ruined it all for base. But base had a plan, and he did what he could to make that plan happen. And it worked out. So I think base is trying to take calculated risks rather than plus backing and giving stuff away. And yeah, maxter actually is fighting back, and this time it was just the positional game that allowed maxter to choose the better weapon for the situation. And the situation in this time was not dictated by what
nice.
weaponry you had, it was just the stack. Yeah, and now rail after rail, kill after kill, 1 frag game. And all of a sudden you have a behemoth to fight against.
It was interesting. Like, base had weapon advantage. Like, Maxter missing the lightning gun for the mid-range damage. But he created 3 great rail angles.
Yeah, and just the awareness of maxter to use the shotgun there. Like, how many QPL pros would have hit that rail? Let's be real.
Here comes the fight.
Not because of they are. What a frack! I was just trying to make a point about weapon selection.
Yeah,
but base is blowing it up. No, even though you maybe would have hit it, it was wiser to use the right weapon. Tools are tools, and it doesn't mean how they look. It's pointless. And yeah, base is piling it on and making me eat my words because he could have used different tools. I'll stop talking about that.
Like you say something positive about a player, then he makes a mistake, and yeah. Sad
And all of a sudden, a sledgehammer looks like a blow-up pony.
Are you even trying?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like maxter had a good run and had made good decisions, and then all of a sudden, base is on 70% rail and just beams the living shit out of you. And even that rocket jump was timed so well because just as maxter had lined up the angle, go through the TP, hit the shot out of the angle. Situation lost. You can't peek that, yeah, and this is important that maxter didn't take this. I think base would have had a higher chance of hitting that, actually.
Here come the fireworks.
And this is infuriating, right? And that angle even.
Yeah, bases real are insane this evening.
I mean, maxter was like standing there, hitting all the shots, doing everything he could, and then the guy gets the heavy, survives the rail. You spawn, get planted from an angle nobody but Jesus ever knows existed, and then...
Making mama proud.
That is mean. Yeah, it looks like base is not wanting to go to map 3.
Stopwatch. Combo kill.
Proud to serve.
Impressive.
Base's orb usage has been so good too. Like going for, I mean, okay, for maxter right now, he just needs to get something going, so might as well just go for crazy stuff. But goddamn, this is a tough mountain to climb. Maxter is 5 frags down. He has 2 minutes. And yeah, again, the orb is a perfect use to secure an item. Base can't do jack shit against that, and is the one who's having less stack despite theoretically being able to punish it.
Yeah, base now definitely being on the other side of the map where maxter is.
Yeah, and base is just trusting his execution because he has been on point all evening. And he continues to do so. I mean, Heal is not like the hardest champion to hit, right? But still, maxter is not able to avoid the damage, and even though he's hitting rails like crazy, base is picking up so much items that maxter kinda needs to hit double the stuff he's hitting already.
When you're 20 feet tall and throwing lightning.
Impressive.
I do like base's creativeness. Doing a rocket jump mid-fight.
It brings a clan arena element into Duel, and it only works because you're aware of the weapon arsenal that your opponent is working with. Because if you do that against an LG, maybe you're getting fried and stuck in the air. But
So-
yeah, that's why it works, because you're aware of things and you know what you're doing. This is the big difference.
Yeah, so congratulations to base being the winner of Estoty 72.
Yeah. And in a pretty convincing fashion. And I think
Yeah, it's a flawless victory in Mortal Kombat, they would say.
well, in the grand final, Kels took a map of him. earlier this evening.
Yeah, okay.
And I kind of forgot the result in the winner bracket final.